you change? What can't you change? Jesus. Tonight we celebrate God. Come on, Jesus. Creator, what can't you do? What can't you do? What can't you do? Jesus. Name above every other name. What can't you change? What can't you change? Jesus. Lift your hands, say you are able. Great and mighty. Great and mighty. You are able, Jesus. Lift it up, say, there is nothing you cannot do, nothing you cannot change, nothing you cannot turn around. You are able. Put my trust in you. You are able, Jesus. We love to sing about our God. Come on, put your hands together. Say, put those hands together. Let us shoot with a heart. Jesus, Creator, what can't you do? What can't you do? Jesus, you're the name above every other name. What can't you change? What can't you change? Jesus, for you are able, great and mighty. You are able, Jesus. Come on, somebody lift it up. There is nothing you cannot change, nothing you cannot turn around. You are able, great and mighty. I put my trust in you, for you are able. Say, Jesus. Oh, there is nothing you cannot do. I saw we sing tonight. Great and mighty. You are Jesus. Lift your voice, sing to your God. Our God, King of all, the strong and breathless, eternal King, Jesus. Oh, there is nothing you cannot change, nothing you cannot turn around. You are able, great and mighty. I put my trust in you. You are able, God. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Sing it again and again and again and again. Able God, able God. You are able, Jesus. This is our song tonight. Celebrate. Come on, celebrate God. Jesus.
He is able. He is able. We have come to celebrate him tonight. Good evening, New Season Gospel FM family. Thank you all so much for coming on with me this evening. I wanted to thank the family that have tuned in on our FM dial 89.1. Thank you all so much for coming on. For those who are listening, who are joining through newseasonfm.com, I want to thank you on YouTube. Thank you for coming on. And of course, those of you who are in the room with me on Facebook, thank you all so much. Good evening, Sister Salma. Yay, hi. Onaije, I saw you somewhere there. Pastor Henry. Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition, this week's episode of Faith Matters with me, Mnena. I'm the Zen person of the team, the Zen teammate. So I'm here this evening just to share with you my reflections, my thoughts on our faith walk. You know, Faith Matters is all about our faith journey. We're just talking about or reflecting about how our Christian walk is. You know, a lot of times people think that because you're a Christian, you're saved, that you don't have any problems, that you're not going through any struggles, that everything is fine and dandy, and it's just a walk in the park. But that's not the case. We all go through those struggles, especially, I think, if anything, the fact that we are Christians is why we face a lot of struggles, and we, you know, the enemy throws a lot at us. So Faith Matters basically is a platform where we just reflect, or I do most of the talking, reflect on our faith walk, our daily faith walk. How are we being Christ's hands and feet in everything that we do? Are we shining his light brightly for others to see? Because that is what we are called to do. You know, every single day that he gives us is a blessing. It is a blessing for us to just be his light, to shine brightly for others to see, and to just live out our faith unashamedly. Hi, Sister Primrose. Thank you for coming on. So that's what I'm here for, just to share with you, to reflect with you, to vent sometimes, and just to, you know, just talk. So thank you if you're just coming into the room. I want to thank you for coming on. And before we jump right into it, I just want to take the time to say thank you to our sponsors. Thank you so much. Because of your generosity, we are able to do what we do. Because of your generosity, we can come here, we can sit here and share. You know, it's all a team effort. It's not just a one-man show here. It's because of you that we're able to do it. And so I just want to take the time to say thank you. Thank you so much for that, for your support, and to also encourage you, if you haven't supported, if you haven't started, you've been thinking about it, if you've been procrastinating, I just want to encourage you to please consider doing so today. Start right now. There's no time like the present. So start right now. Help your station. This is your station. We are listener supported, and it's because of your generosity that we're able to do what we do. So please, if you haven't supported, do prayerfully consider supporting the station. There's different ways to do so. You can do so through Cash App. The information for Cash App is $, New Season WC. That's the $, New Season WC. You can also do so through Zelle. The number for Zelle is 954-536-1821. That's 954-536-1821. You can do so through going to our website, newseasonfm.com. When you click on the donate/give button right there, it takes you straight to the page where you're able to do so. It's really easy. If any of those don't work for you and you're just like, I want to write a check and mail it out to you, you could do so as well. Just write out a check and mail it to New Season Gospel FM, 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida 33351. That's 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida 33351. So thank you again so much for your support. Thank you so much for your support. Hi, Sister Laurel. How you doing? Thank you for coming on. So jumping right into it, we are at the 221st day mark. So it's 221 days today. Today is the 221st day of the year. What does that mean? It means we only have 144 days left in 2021. Again, this is the part where I give the spiel about, oh, I hope you're doing something great. I hope you've started something. I hope you can check something off of your list. You might get tired of me saying that, but I am not going to tire of just encouraging you and just checking in and making sure that you are doing something at this point. I hope that you started something, that you're taking stock of where you're at in just every aspect of your life, but most importantly, your spiritual life as well. I remember I shared, I think it was last week or the week before, that my faith walk from the start of the year is totally not on the same level as my faith walk now, my faith level now, my relationship now with the Lord is totally on a different level as when the year started. So that's how you keep stock. Hopefully you're growing, and I'm growing, and I mean that in a positive way, that I'm not at the same level. Like, I've grown, and I'm so happy about that, and I'm just hoping that you can say the same thing. And it shouldn't just be, in all aspects of your life, like in your business, in your personal life. What personal goals have you set for yourself, and are you achieving them? Or are you walking towards attaining those goals? Remember, I would say that don't wait to achieve like the humongous thing, to check that off of your list. Like, just glory in those baby steps that you take, because those are really important, and those are the steps that will actually get you to where you need to be. Because if you're waiting for that big thing to happen, if you're waiting for that, for the skies to burst open and be like, oh, that is incredible, if you're waiting for that gigantic thing to happen, it might not happen immediately. But if you take little steps to make to achieve those, then you're able to just chip off a little bit and then check, oh, this is done, oh, I'm happy this is done. So what can you check off of your list? I think another easy way to do it is to probably start like weekly, like at the end of the week, or if you want to do it at the start of the week, depends on whatever works for you. You can say, okay, so this week, this is what happened, this is what I've done, and you're able to check off like that. So that way you're holding yourself accountable, and you're also seeing your progress in terms of, spirituality, everything, just your entire life. You're able to just check where you're at. So I'm hoping that at this 221st day that you can say, you know what, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the baby steps I've taken. I may not be at the level or at the point where I want to be, but I'm just still happy that I am taking those steps, that I am moving. You're not just standing there. You're not just stationary. You're like moving and walking towards it, and that's the most important thing. Not just sitting down and like, okay, I can't do anything. So don't do that. Don't just sit down and wallow in, I don't know, it could be self-pity, it could be fear. Don't sit down there and just wallow like that. So just get out there, get up right now. If you haven't started something, you better start now, and just hold yourself accountable. If you can't hold yourself accountable, because trust me, sometimes I can't hold myself accountable, and so you need to find an accountability partner, someone who loves you but still is stern and firm, like, I love you, but you better do this. So if you're lucky to have that person in your life, just let that person be your accountability partner. You only have 144 days left in the year. You don't want to get to the end of the year and be like, oh my gosh, what have I can't say anything. I can't say I've achieved anything. So you really need to start right now, okay? I'm just hoping that you get that. Like, I'm trying to pump it in as hard as I can, because I don't want to come here like at the last week or the last day of the year and be like, okay, what have you achieved? And you're like, nothing. I wanted to start this, but I never did. We don't want to be in the whole I wanted zone. You want to say, I did, I tried. And there's nothing wrong with trying, like taking that step, taking that initiative and just jumping into something and be like, you know what, I'm going to trust God and I'm going to go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter what the circumstances around me look like. I am still going to go for it and be like, at the end of the day, even if it doesn't work out, you will be proud of yourself that you tried something, that you did it, that you were able to just make that effort. So that's just my little encouragement before I go into my my weird holidays. So I really don't have any. I don't have a lot this week. Hi, Sister Claudette. Thanks for coming on. I don't have a lot of those weird holidays. I do have a few good ones, but this has to be like one of my favorites, and I think everybody that knows me around here will know that I don't even have to say this is like my favorite, but you're gonna know today is, because it's still the day still young. Today is Book Lovers Day. Book Lovers Day. I love to read. I love books. And I was so happy. I didn't even know that today was Book Lovers Day for some weird reason. I should know because this is what I like to. I like. It's a passion of mine. I love to read. But I was so happy because I read quite a bit today. Without even knowing, I was like, oh wow, yay, today is Book Lovers Day. So, but anyways, I lived out my day today by reading quite a bit today. I try to do so as often as I can, but usually I never get a chance to, read as much as I would like. But I was just really happy that I was able to do quite a bit of reading today. So it's Book Lovers Day today. It's also National Co-working Day. So for those of you with co-workers, today was a day, like, for those of you hold on, before I say those of you with co-workers, those of you who work alone, today was actually the day to try to experience working with someone else. Co-working is kind of good to an extent. If you're if you're a loner, someone who just likes to work on their own, who like, I can do this on my own, I don't like people, I don't, if you're that kind of person, today was the day where you kind of like, let's step out of your comfort zone a little bit and just work with other people. So today was co-working day, and for those of you who have coworkers, I hope you enjoyed your day with them today and you just really, shared quite a bit. And I hope you do have a great relationship with your coworkers if you do work with people. And if you don't, I think you can extend this holiday to tomorrow. Try it out. Try working with someone and see how that goes. It is also National Hand-Holding Day today. Well, I don't know, in these days of COVID and all of that, with all the restrictions, I don't know how many hand-holdings are happening or happened today outside of your family, but it's National Hand-Holding Day. I think the whole idea behind that is just to promote unity, to promote love, acceptance, and all that good stuff. We're all one. So sometimes little things as just holding someone's hand goes a long way. People don't understand that. A lot of times people think that it is maybe giving someone, like maybe financial assistance or just some big thing that you need to do in order to help someone or create an impact in someone's life. But something as little or as insignificant, it's not insignificant, but it might seem insignificant. Something as insignificant as that, similarly insignificant as holding someone's hand, can be really important. Can create a really, really huge impact in someone's life. So today was National Hand Holding Day. It was also rice pudding. For those of you who like rice pudding, I don't. Don't. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Tomorrow is International Vlogging Day. I think today is just the day to celebrate, online creators and their work. In the days of technology and social media now, I think everything is on that. I mean, here we are, we're broadcasting live on Facebook. So it encourages people to share their stories via video. And it's just a way of, I think the idea behind creating this day was just to bring out the positive, in vlogging, because a lot of things, a lot of content online or online content isn't as positive. I think people say no news, no good news is not news or something like that. I forget how the saying goes, but it's just, you just have like so many negative stuff out there. But I think the idea behind starting the Vlogging Day, International Vlogging Day, was just to promote the positivity behind that, to bring more positive inspiration and stuff out there for people. So I think it's a good day to celebrate. It's also tomorrow. I like this one. because I think we need it sometimes. It's National Lazy Day. So tomorrow is not. I wish this was like maybe on a, I don't know, on a weekend. Well, I work weekends, so. But it's National. Mommy, good evening. Thanks for coming on. It's National Lazy Day tomorrow. I don't know why they would put it on a Tuesday, a working day, like it's a work day, Tuesday, but it's National Lazy Day. So on National Lazy Day, because we have days for this, you have days for running, you have days for every day has a day. Everything has a day. So National Lazy Day is a day where you can just be, yeah, you guessed it, you just get to be lazy. Like, don't do anything. You just lay around or sit around or like, you know what, I'm not doing anything. Do not try that at work though. That's actually my favorite holiday. I wish I could have that. Just be like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna lazy around. Hopefully my boss is listening, so if he sees me lazing around, he just knows, I'm living out the holiday. And I'm saying it in advance right now. In case I'm dragging tomorrow, you just know that I am just living out my lazy day holiday. So it's National Lazy Day tomorrow. If you don't have to work tomorrow, please, please, please don't do anything. Just lazy around. It's S'mores Day. I'm not big on s'mores, but for those of you who like s'mores and campers and all that good stuff. Mommy said she had hers today. Good for you, Mommy. It's S'mores Day. It is Spoil Your Dog Day. You guys know I love dogs. I'm glad I didn't say Spoil Your Cat Day, because I would be on a kill right now, because I kills the one with the cat whose name is Gigi, and I'm not going to say anything more about that. But it's Spoil Your Dog Day. So if you have a dog, tomorrow is a day where you get to spoil your dog. It's also World Lion Day. I think every animal has a day, so I guess why not? Let's have World Lion Day. So these are the crazy holidays. If you're just joining in, don't be scared. This is the segment where I just talk about weird, obscure holidays. Some holidays we know, we've never heard of. Some we know, some we don't. So it is Smithsonian Day tomorrow as well. Wednesday, it's Annual Checkup Day, Medical Checkup Day. That's really important, that we check our health, we see how we're doing and things like that. So Wednesday, if you can, go do that. Play in the Sand Day. This is also a good one. I think this should fall on National Lazy Day as well. So go play in the sand. Go to the beach or somewhere, and go play in the sand. It's Raspberry Tart Day. It is Son and Daughter Day. So love on your sons and your daughters on Wednesday. Thursday is Baseball Fans Day. Not a big fan of baseball, so for those of you who are, it's Baseball Fans Day. It's International Youth Day on Thursday. I like that one. It's National Middle Sibling Day. I think a lot of times we hear about the first child and the last child. And so what happens to the one in the middle? So if you're a middle sibling, on Thursday is your day, so you better start hounding it in your siblings and your parents and everybody, your family. Say, hey, listen, Thursday is my day, so you better spoil me rotten on Thursday if you're a middle sibling. But I keep wondering, for those who are, those families that have like four, like how do you know which one's the middle sibling? Well, I don't know. It's also Truck Driver Day on Thursday and World Elephant Day. Again, if the lions can have the day, if cats can have a day, why not? Let's have Elephant Day. So it's Elephant Day. Friday is National Blame Someone Else Day. So if you do something, I think these people are giving you the, they're giving you the okay. Just one day in the year, which is this Friday, if you do something wrong, you have the right to just blame it on someone else. Yesy, I am going to blame something on you on Friday. And we know how sometimes I mess up quite a bit. So when you hear, when I mess up and I say, what did you do? No, Yesy did that. So National Blame Someone Else on Friday. So Yesy, you're it. It's also Left-Handers Day. Yesy, you're a lefty. So it's your day on Friday. So after I blame you, I'm going to celebrate you being left-handed. Pastor Henry, Pastor Henry, you get blamed every day. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, on Friday should be the day. Sorry about that. I guess you enjoy that every single day. But yes, those are my well, no, I have one more. It's also Skeptics Day. So for those of you who are always skeptical about stuff, Friday is just weird. It's really the holidays for Friday are just super super weird. Skeptics Day. So, I mean, if you're that skeptical person, please just enjoy yourself on Friday. It's your day. So those are my holidays for the week. You know, I am definitely running with my Book Lovers Day. Definitely going with that one. International Youth Day for me, and Blame Someone Else Day. Lazy Day. Tomorrow, Lazy Day. I think I'm going to run with that as well. So those are my holidays for the week. If you're just joining in, this is Faith Matters with me, Mnena. It's just a platform where we reflect on our daily Christian walk. And I just finished that crazy part of the show where I just talk about weird holidays. So if you just joined in when I was probably talking about, I don't know, left-handers and blame it on someone else, that was just the weird part of the show. Weird holidays. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the room again. I reflect quite a bit, and tonight it will be, a day where an evening where I'm just like going to be free ranging and touching on quite a few reflections that I was writing down this morning, actually, this morning. So wherever you're, wherever you are in life, always know that God has placed you there for a reason. God has a purpose for you in everything that you do. Before I get into that, actually, so this morning I got called out for, I just reflect on everything that happens because that's what Faith Matters is about. So someone said, they never know what I'm going to say on the show, that they might be the topic of the show. They never know. But and I was so trying hard not to say anything today, actually, because I was like, you know what, I really don't have anything to share. But I actually do have something to share, which in a positive light. And everything I share about that person, that particular someone, it's always in a positive light. And so it does actually. This afternoon, Pastor is running a few errands, and first of it was like a great show this morning, the great discussion about the tongue and just how to live our faith and just be Christ-like. So he was talking. We were talking this afternoon as he was running errands, and he had to fix something on the church van, and he said something. He went to the mechanic, and the guy was like, "No, I'm busy. I'm not gonna, do it." More or less, he was rejected, and so he stayed there in the, at the mechanics, and he decided to fix it himself. And so I was cracking up, and I said to him, I was like, "Wow, you literally just sat there. It took you driving all the way there." You got out, you got in the van, drove all the way there, just to go fix it yourself. And then he said, no, it took me getting rejected in order to do it. And I thought that was so profound, because sometimes it takes us being rejected in order for us to be able to do something. It takes us being hearing that no, for that rejection to pull something outside or from the inside of us to do something. And I thought that was really profound. I mean, we were joking about it, but he didn't realize that was a powerful statement, powerful word that he said. Because so many times, I don't know what it is that you're going through, or where you've been, or what the things that you've been rejected, places that you've gone and you were rejected, jobs that you wanted that you never got. Who knows? It could be out of that rejection, the fact that you didn't get that dream job, the fact that you didn't make it a part of the team. That rejection caused you to start your own business, or that rejection should ginger you or cause you to want to start something for yourself, to do something for yourself. Because a lot of times we have the potential, we have all of that on the inside of us, but we're just sometimes lazy or fearful that we probably can't do it or think we can't do it. So it takes that no, it takes that rejection for us to be able to birth that which is on the inside of us. So I thought that was really profound. So that's my take on him today. So I'm just putting something out there again from what he said today. So he made the show. He made the show again today. I didn't think he was going to make it today, but he did make it today. So, it takes that rejection to be able to do something that you didn't think you could do, or something that you knew you could do, but you just weren't willing to try. So I thought that was really profound. So sometimes we find ourselves in situations like that. We find ourselves in circumstances where we don't want to. We don't want to do things, or we feel like we can't do things, and because of that we just stay stagnant and we don't do what we've been called to do. So wherever your path takes you, your life is no surprise to God. Like, everything happens for a reason, and he didn't forget to give you skills. And this is just me pivoting to a different point, of just being appreciative and just shining in whatever circumstance you find yourself in. Because a lot of times, whatever situation you're in, you might feel in your human mind, in your human thinking, that you're not able to, you're not strong enough to, you're not well equipped to handle certain situations. But your situation is not a surprise to God, and He did not give you, he did not forget to give you the skills that you need to go through your certain circumstances, if that makes sense. So whatever season you're in right now, whatever it is that you're going through right now, He has equipped you. He has given you everything necessary for you to survive, for you to thrive in that season. So it's something that we all have to remember. In whatever we're doing, that whatever your season is, whatever struggles you're going through, whatever difficulties you think you might be in or you are in, just know that God has equipped you with everything that you need to thrive in that difficult situation. Because remember that His word tells us that before you were born, before He formed you, and this is found in Jeremiah 1:5. Before He formed you in the womb, He knew you. Before you were born, He consecrated you. He appointed you. Before the foundation of the world, He knew that you would be in that particular situation that you're in, and He equipped you with everything that you will need to go through that season of your life. So whatever it is that you're going through right now, He knows. So a task when uncomfortable circumstances come at us or invade us, so to speak, because a lot of times these circumstances just barge in. We don't welcome them, but they come and it happens. Life happens. So when those circumstances invade our lives, what we have to do is wrap ourselves in the Word of God. I think there was something that there was a story, not a story per se, because it's an actual thing that happens. Someone was given an example of oysters. Like when something like a foreign body gets into an oyster, say for a grain of sand or something, if it gets in, the oyster secretes some sort of gland, and it goes over the sand. So after a period of time, it becomes like this beautiful jewel. It becomes something precious. So when those circumstances, those uncomfortable situations, those problems invade us, we need to secrete the Word of God, so to speak, that over those circumstances, over those problems, so that they can be transformed into something precious. So using the Word of God to secrete the Word of God over our circumstances, to make it, into something precious, knowing that whatever it is that we're going through is meant to glorify Him at the end of the day. So that was just a thought that I had this morning, that I had penned down, and I wanted to share that. Because sometimes His greatest miracles arrive. It's just like I said earlier. The greatest miracles, the greatest things happen, not in monetary form, They may not come in that form. It may not come in, hey, I went and I checked the x-ray again and they didn't see anything. It may not come in that form, but it can come in the transformation of your attitude, the transformation of your the way you think, the way you see certain situations, the way you handle certain situations. That in itself is a consolation. That's a huge prize. That's a huge victory. Having that transformed mind, having that transformed looking through different lens, having the unimaginable peace and calm in the midst of the storm. So that in itself is a victory. That in itself is a miracle itself. So sometimes the victory in your situation is not that the situation, not that the difficult situation has been taken away, but the victory and the miracle in that situation is the fact that you're able to smile, even in the midst of the pain, that you're able to be calm, you're able to be peaceful, like you have peace that you yourself can't even explain. So sometimes that is the victory, and that is the miracle itself. So when your misplaced priorities, that's another example of the victory or the miracles that you can glory in, that you should be, like, we could celebrate. The your misplaced priorities, if they're rearranged in the right order, that in itself is a victory to thrive in. Good evening, Sister Dan, thanks for coming on. And so it's important for us to recognize and to realize how God works in us and through us during those difficult situations, and those situations, are usually, some of them coming from interruptions. I talk about interruptions quite a bit. I forget when it was I had shared about, sometimes we just sit and like, you have your plans, you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, and life happens, things don't happen the way. I think sometimes we forget that we own ourselves, that we we are the author of our lives, and not God. So because we forget that, sometimes we have these plans that we have set for ourselves. This is my plan A, and we don't have, that's it, and it has to be this. I'm going to achieve this at this point in time. I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to achieve this when I'm done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So we have all this list, and we've made all these plans, but then sometimes those interruptions come in. So maybe do you recognize those interruptions as God's hand? Those interruptions, sometimes are just merely God's way, of laying a foundation for better things for you. If there's so many times in my life, I think that, if I, at this stage in my faith walk, there's certain things that if I had known before now, things that I know now, my life would have been so much easier in terms of emotionally, mentally, and all of that, because I would not even worry. The times that I worried about not finishing or completing a certain degree at a certain time that I thought, I would have just saved myself like a whole lot of mental anguish and feeling disappointed in myself, and just, what, God, I know that you have a plan, you have a purpose. So the interruptions happen, but we need to understand that those interruptions are God's foundation. He's laying the foundation for something better for us. Those were plans that we made, not the plans that He has for us. So recognizing that, and sometimes interruptions are not like, you're not limited to those big things, like those huge or horrible things. Sometimes interruptions can actually be minor, like they can be just little things, like, I have a cold today, or like I've really didn't think I'd have a cold because I'm singing tomorrow. Something as little as that. It could be, oh gosh, I have a nail in my tire. That's an interruption. I have to go try to get it out. That's going to take about 5 minutes or 10 minutes out of, my day or whatever it is that I planned. It could be that, hey, I took out maybe meat or something, food from the freezer in order to make, and I totally forgot because I was running around, and now it's gone bad, and now something smells really bad in my house. So those are little interruptions, and those little interruptions, they still catch us by surprise, even though they're little, because we're not expecting it. So we're traveling along all this to-do list that we have, knowing fully well what the day holds for us. So when something just creeps into it to interrupt or interfere with our to-do list, then it becomes a problem. But we need to know that those interruptions are necessary. Those interruptions, whenever they come, they are from the Lord. It just means that He is just saying to us, hey, focus and go on the path that I am leading you, and not on your path. So they come in all sizes, and they come in all shapes and forms. So anywhere between something majorly challenging or just mildly inconvenient. So it could be like something like your best friend moving out of town, which happened to me recently. A very close family friend just moved way out of state, actually. And so it could be something as that could be just interrupt your normal flow. So obviously those a lot of the interruptions sometimes, which is something I actually took away from what I think it was a book by Priscilla Schreier. I'm trying to remember the name right now. Life Interrupted, and she said something in there that sometimes interruptions that come into our lives are not always bad. Some of them are good. And she was sharing about, how she was at a certain level in her ministry and her family, and she had 2 kids at that time, and she was like, okay, this is it, God, I'm done. We have our lives now. Everything's going right. And then she found that she was pregnant with a 3rd child, right at that peak of her ministry, and her ministry was expanding as well. But then she started to fret. She started to, just really get anxious and antsy about the situation, complaining, really, God, like right now, I was so happy having just the 2 boys. I'm gone. I wasn't thinking I'll start dealing with diapers and all of that at this point. So, while those interruptions were good, they weren't bad. Those were good interruptions. She still felt as though it interrupted the flow of her plans. So at the end of the day, we have to realize that it's God's plan. God has a plan for us, and we have to go according to His plan. And so instead of us, just constantly complaining and just having a pity party and whining all the time about what's going wrong or what isn't going right, or sometimes it's even like she said, it could be a blessing, but we're still whining and complaining over the blessing. Why would you even complain if your business or your ministry is growing and you're like, no, now I'm gonna have to hire more people, deal with a bigger staff, and I'm gonna have to get a new place to accommodate. Like, seriously, that should be a good problem to have. You're welcoming a new life. That's a problem. That's something of joy. But it's just amazing how it just speaks to our human nature, because we are human. We're never satisfied. We're constantly complaining. It's a wonder. Thank God is love, because if God was not love, oh my goodness, a lot of us will not be here right now, because we grumble and complain all the time about everything, even when He's blessing us. So she said something profound, like that she didn't want to be that person who would constantly be complaining, and she thought about Jonah, and she said for her it was almost as if God was pointing her to the scripture. Jonah, when God said, okay, go to Nineveh, and Jonah was like, no, I'm not going. So he was trying to run away from the plan that God had for him, for what God had asked him to do. And of course we all know the story of Jonah. What happened? He's like, no, I'm not going. So it had to take God causing that storm, and him being thrown overboard, and then being swallowed by that fish, and then, hi Sister Cresta, and thanks for coming in, him being swallowed by that fish and being in the belly of the whale for 3 days. And so it took all of that. And so sometimes we have to take a pause when we're complaining and whining about what's not going right in our eyes, and say, hey, listen, you better get it together, or else you don't want God to reach into his deep pockets of, disciplinary measures and hand you something. Who knows? You might be swallowed by a whale. Who knows? But so you have to realize that in everything you have to be thankful, and we have to be grateful, and just go with the flow. When those interruptions come, you need to understand or remember that in your eyes they might be an inconvenience, but those interruptions are just God's foundation, laying the foundation for what he has for you, the better plans and the bigger plans that he has for you. So, and sometimes it comes in the form of, unanswered prayers, like you're praying, Lord, provide this for me. I want this, I want that, and it never comes. And you're like, oh, and then you go into the grumbling and the complaining again. Lord, why aren't you giving me this? Lord, why me? So are you able to thank God for unanswered prayers? That's a good question. That's a good question to reflect on. Are you able to thank God for unanswered prayers? There's sometimes we're praying for things and we're just saying, God, thank you, you provided this, thank you for this, thank you that you answered this prayer. But are you able to say, God, thank you for the unanswered prayers, because you know best. And because you haven't answered the prayers, there's a reason why. There's something better out there for me. That which I asked for is not the right thing for me. So Lord, I thank you for unanswered prayers. So how I thank the Lord now how do I thank the Lord for unanswered prayers? Interruptions are often his way of doing something even better, bigger and better. How many times have we heard stories of someone saying, I had this little quick story. Even before I even share someone else's, I'll share mine. I think about 3 or 4 years ago, I was looking to get a place, and I found this cute little apartment. It was a 1-bedroom, literally next to my friend, the one that just moved out of state. Beautiful place. It was just ideal. It was a great place, great location. I loved it. I walked into the house and I fell in love with it. It was just great, and the fact that it was literally next to my friend made it all the better. It was a little bit. It was a 1-bedroom, but it was huge space, and it was going for I think it was a little over my budget for the place, but I didn't mind. I was gonna just suck it up and pay that, because I really loved it. Went through the whole thing, but I didn't get it. Apparently someone else had made an offer on it, and I was devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm crying, like, Lord, why? I really love this place. Why didn't you give this to me? Blah blah blah. And I just went on and on and on. And I want to say a week after that, but I kept looking, but I forgot that when I was praying and asking God for a place, I was praying. I said, Lord, I really need a place that's really, I want a great space, and I want to have a room that I can dedicate to prayer. Like I wanted a prayer room. Mind you, this place that I found was a 1-bedroom. Didn't have a prayer. There was no way I could, have a prayer room or anything. But at that point, I was not thinking, and I was just devastated and disappointed that I didn't get it. A week later, I get, my friend texts me this realtor's number, and she's like, "Oh, you call her. She might be able to help you." So I call the lady, and she says to me, "Oh, hey, listen, I can get you something, but I also have a place, and it's a 2 bedroom." Single family home. You might like it. Go check it out. Parent come to find out, she actually converted the garage into a 3rd bedroom. Went in there. It's like this humongous space. It was less than my budget, like than what I had budgeted for. And I was like, wow, Lord, how amazing are you? Like, here I was disappointed and all, crying my eyes out because I didn't get the 1 bedroom that was overpriced. And, God was saying to me, but I was too stubborn to kind of like hear what he was saying to me. I was just so busy drowning in my own little brattish self, crying over, you didn't answer my prayer, when he had something better for me. So, and I ended up having my prayer room, a space for the prayer room, and just so much space that I didn't even know what to do with, and it fell under my budget. So those are ways of just, that's just a way of saying, a testimony that I wanted to share to let you know that God works in ways that we can't see. So when he brings those interruptions, when he doesn't answer those prayers, when he says no, are you still able to stand, be faithful to him and say, God, I thank you for the no, or are you just going to keep whining and whining and whining? So that I just wanted to share that with you tonight. And I know that we can all relate, like each and every one of us has something, like we've all had situations where we felt disappointed, where we felt things didn't go our way, where we felt like, oh really, another one, like can I catch a break? We've all had those situations. We know the feeling. You might not you might not be going through the same thing I'm going through, but you felt disappointment before. You felt rejection before. You felt you felt that disappointment. You know what it means when something you want doesn't come through. So you're able to, so in that way we're able to encourage each other and say, hey, listen, it might not be the same situation that you're in. It might not be, my story might not be the same as yours, but the feeling, in many instances is the same. And so to know and to recognize that in that moment, whatever is going through, whatever is happening, God knows, and it will always work out for your good. It'll always work out for you. He turns it around always for your good. So going back again to reiterate what I said earlier about what Pastor had said to me this afternoon, that rejection had forced him to do it. Rejection had forced him to fix the van, the latch on the van himself. He was just driving there and, hey, let me go find someone to fix it. But, lo and behold, it took the guy saying, hey, dude, I can't, I'm busy right now. To just totally ignore him and not, be willing to help him. It took that to pull out the creative, the creativeness in him. Let me just put it that way, to find a way of, fixing the problem, of solving the problem. So sometimes it's something that we can do. A lot of times it's something that we have the ability to do, but we're looking for an easy way out, or we're looking for a convenient way out, of something. But sometimes that rejection at that job, like I said earlier, that rejection of that interview that you went to, is just really what you needed. That rejection was what you needed in order to start your own business. You needed to hear that no. You needed for that door to be closed in order for you to be able to say, hey, that's the last time someone shuts their door in my face, because I'm going to do something. Sometimes we need that. We need that no. So when God says no, it just simply means that he has something bigger and better than what your plan is. Because a lot of times we are like, this is just plan A and I'm going to stick to it. I'm not going to do anything about that. So that was that was just a snippet of my, from my reflection, my personal reflection pages that I wanted to share. And just really quickly, there's another thing that I wanted to share too before, I head out this evening. I've been studying the book of Judges past couple of days, and I was just fascinated about the history in that, and it's amazing. I say it all the time that there's so much we can learn from the Bible. That everything we need, everything that we're going through right now, everything that's happening right now, is all in here. Like it's all in here. Like we can find answers. Everything is here. Things that, like, there's nothing that's happening right now that was not experienced before. So everything is in there. But I just find it really fascinating. Something I wanted to share was just from Judges 9:23 to 24. I was reading, I was studying, and I just wrote down that God will fight your battles for you as long as you give it to Him. He will always avenge any wrong that's done to you. And so Judges 9:23 to 24 says, God stirred up animosity between Abimelech and the citizens of Shechem, so that they acted treacherously against Abimelech. So God did this in order that the crime against Gideon, was called Jerubaal's 70 sons, the shedding of their blood might be avenged on their brother Abimelech and on the citizens of Shechem, who had helped him murder his brothers. So a brief backdrop to this story, if you're not familiar with the story, is that Abimelech was one of Gideon's 70 sons, and he forged an alliance with his mother's clan in Shechem and murdered all his brothers. Again, this is just an abridged version of the story, since we're out of time. You can go to Judges and read that for yourselves to get deeper into it. So he murdered all his brothers except for the youngest one, Jotham, who was able to escape. So Jotham said to them after Abimelech was crowned king, that if they had acted in good faith, that's if they had crowned Abimelech in good faith, and they made him king in good faith, in an honorable manner. May he Abimelech be their joy. So if they had actually crowned him in good faith, if in their eyes they felt that they did the right thing, then let him be their joy. But if they didn't do the right thing, if they did not do that in good faith, and if they knew that were not fair to Gideon and his family, then let fire, so it says, let fire come from Abimelech and consume them. That's the Israelites from Shechem. And let fire come from the citizens of Shechem and consume Abimelech. And of course, because our God does not sleep, and He sees every wrong that is done to us. So just a quick pause there. If someone has wronged you, if someone has done anything to you, just pray about it and just let it go and just let God handle it, because our God doesn't sleep and He will always avenge whatever wrong is done to you. And so so after 3 years of Abimelech governing Israel, God sent this spirit between to just stir up confusion, to bring animosity between them, and between Abimelech and the citizens of Shechem. And so the story goes on there to tell, in the end he died, so there was war between them. So they all perished in that way. So this is just a reminder that God will always fight for you. God will always fight your battles for you. You don't have to lift a finger. All you have to do is just give it to Him. Surrender to Him, and He will take care of it. Surrender to Him, and He will take care of whatever the problem is, because He is God and He loves us unconditionally, and He is our great provider and protector. So I wanted to share that with you this evening, just to encourage you that whatever it is that you're going through, just bringing everything full circle here. Whatever you're going through, whatever the situation is, whatever your circumstances are, know that God is faithful. Know that He has equipped you. He has given you the necessary tools. He has given you the necessary skills. He has given you everything that you need to go through whatever circumstances you're going through right now. If you are not able to handle it, He would not put you in it. but he knows that you are able to handle it. And every interruption, everything that you feel that is an inconvenience, all those interruptions, those are just foundations to get into where he has for you, to the better thing that he has planned for you. So just glory in those little, in those moments, glory in those times that you feel it's not going your way, but just know that in God's eyes, that's exactly where you need to be. That's exactly he knows what he has in store for you, and that's why he's letting you go through it, and he is giving you everything that you need to thrive in whatever situation you're in. So on that note, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me tonight on this episode of Faith Matters. I really appreciate all of you who came on tonight. Family on Facebook, Sister Primrose, thank you. Yesy, thanks. Sister Crescent, I see you. Mommy, thank you for staying up late. I know it's super late back home. Sister Deanne, thank you. Pastor Henry, I see you on there. Thank you for staying with me. Sister Salma, thank you. Sister Laurel, Sister Claudette, thank you, Anijay. Appreciate all of you. For those who I can't really see at the moment, I promise I acknowledge at the end, but thank you all so much for coming on. Join Pastor Steve tomorrow for the Pastor Steve Show from 8 a.m. to 10. It's always an honor. It's always fun to just start the morning off with him, just praising and worshiping. A lot of fun, a lot of great insights, and just nice to be in the presence of the Lord in the morning, just to start your day off good. So thank you again for coming on 89.1 FM. Thank you for listening. Those who joined in on newseasonfm.com and on YouTube, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, remember, we're a listener supported station. It's because of your generosity that we're able to come on the show and do what we do. And I always say it all the time, I speak for the entire team when I say that we are so grateful. So thank you so much. If you haven't supported, please consider supporting today. You can do so through Cash App. The information for Cash App is the $ New Season WC. That's the $ New Season WC. You can do so through Zelle. The number for Zelle is 954-536-1821. That's 954-536-1821. Go straight to the website, newseasonfm.com. Click on the donate/give button right there. Takes you straight to where you can give. You can also send us the check to 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida 33351. Again, that's 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida 33351. So thank you all again so much for coming on. I pray that you all have a blessed and a wonderful rest of the week. Know that you are loved by the Almighty God, and you are here for a reason, and He is awesome. So have a wonderful evening, guys. Take care.
From my heart, praise and thanks unto you, Lord. All the things that you have done, I'm grateful for your love. I give you the praise. It is coming from my heart, praise and thanks unto you, Lord. All the things that you have done, I'm grateful for your love. I give you the praise. I'm counting my blessings. I just can't keep it to myself. When I thought that He had done too much, oh, Jesus did it again. I'm counting my blessings. I just can't keep it to myself. When I thought that He had done too much, oh, Jesus did it again. I can tell you now, oh, I shouted loud from the mountaintop. I can tell Rejoice and praise the Lord. Everybody rejoice. Rejoice and praise the Lord. Give him the highest praise. Rejoice and praise the Lord. One more time, rejoice. Rejoice and praise the Lord. When I found that he had done too much, oh, he did Jesus did it again. I can't tell it enough. Oh, I shouted, Lord, from the mountain top. I can't tell it enough. Oh, I shouted, Lord, from the mountain top. Come on, give him the praise. Give him praise.
Your day sounds better with your music and your station playing on the background.